Welcome back to the Grand Slam channel. Today is Friday, November 8th. We got Flex Friday on Prize Picks. Only time I recommend to do a six-man. It is a free roll, stress-free. Put in your six best props. You can mix and match around with NBA, NHL, college football. You can even do an NFL slip. I'll be doing a six-man NBA slip. I did post that on my Discord already, but I will mention a couple props that I like. You can put in your Flex Friday slip. Don't stress about it. It's a free roll. Take advantage of it. But let's get started. We do have a full slate of NBA. You got plenty of options to choose from. Like I mentioned, don't stress about it. Put your best picks. Do the best research you can. Use the tools. But I got four good picks that I like that you should consider. First one I'm going to be going with is going to be Christian Braun. He's been a wagon this season. So I'm going to be taking him. You got several options for him. Obviously, his points at 13.5. PRA is great. His fantasy score. His assist is not bad at 1.5, even though the last two games he has an assist. But personally, I like his points and assist at 14.5. He can cash this on points alone. He's been averaging well over 15 points per start. So I'm going to be taking his points and assists. He does get about 2 or 3 assists. Past two games, he hasn't got an assist. But I think this is going to change against Miami. I think he'll have at least 2 assists. Points, I do have him going over points. You can take his points at 13.5. It's a good option. But I'm going to be taking that points and assists. Like I mentioned, you can cash that on points alone. And that is my first leg. Second one I do like is Powell. Another player who's becoming a key figure for the Clippers. With Paul George gone, Norman Powell has stepped up to help out James Harden. For Norman Powell, he's been a wagon all season. He's due for some regression, but I don't see it coming soon. Going against Sacramento, I do like him. He's at 21.5. I do like his points. I know the past 5 are green, but the minutes are there. He's on the floor. So I'm going to be putting him as my second leg. But for him, there's 2 options you can choose from. You can take his points and assists or his fantasy score, either or. For this, we'll be taking his points and assists, but fantasy score will be my go-to option as well as his points and assists. But anything for Norman Powell, take him. He's got to be in your slip. And those are my top 2. Most likely will be on my day 1 of the Latter Day Challenge, and I'll include that on my Flex Friday slip. Let's head on over to my third prop, and that is Daniel Gafford. And for him, not everything is posted yet. I'm hoping Prize Picks just posts his fantasy score. Most likely, I will be taking his fantasy score. I do want to take his PRA on other books such as Sleeper, Underdog. He's at 19.5. I did take him on Sleeper at 19.5 PRA. I do like his fantasy score. There's 2 key players out for the Dallas Mavericks, so he should have plenty of rebounds and points opportunity. He should stay on the floor. It should be close game going against the Phoenix Suns, so this is a prime time game. Playoff scenarios and for both teams. But for Daniel Gafford, like I mentioned, they just posted his fantasy score live as I'm doing this video. He got 35.5 against Chicago. Doesn't do very well against high, fast-paced offenses such like Indiana or Orlando. But Phoenix is more toward his game. So you can take a gamble on his fantasy score, which was just posted. But if you can wait out a little bit longer, take his PRA. It should be at 19.5. But for this, we'll be picking his points at 11.5. He should. I have him projected to get 14 points in this one. Points and rebounds is not bad as well. But for this one, we'll be taking his points. Next one is Terry Rozier. And he's been a wagon for his rebounds. His minutes are up as well. His rebounds has been at 3.5. I've been cashing on his 3.5 on other platforms. Price Picks should have him at 3.5. Apparently, they took him off already. It's good value. You can take his Gabi at 2.5. His Demons at 4.5. But if you can get him at 3.5, I was fortunate to get him early in the morning. I did post that on my Discord. You guys should have got him at 3.5 regular line. But if you can find Terry Rozier's rebounds at 3.5, take it. I have him projected to get 5. Just playing the safe scenario with that 4. So you can take his Gabi instead. 2.5. I do have him projected to get 4 or 5 rebounds in this game. Next prop that I do like is Cameron Johnson. And for him, I do like his points and rebounds, which should be at a solid 19. He's gone over past 6 games. He's gone over 5 of those 6. Brooklyn Nets, they're a depleted team. They're a rebuilding team as of now. Tough matchup going against Boston. If you're taking money line, obviously take Boston. They're the hotter team. They're the defending champs. Like I mentioned, Brooklyn are in rebuilding phase, but Cameron Johnson, along with Cam Thomas, are key pieces for that rebuilding. But for Cameron Johnson, I'll be taking his points and rebounds. You can also look into his points as well, but I do like him to have a productive game. I know I mentioned I was going to offer 4, but I'm going to have 1 more so you can complete a 6-man to choose from. You don't have to tell the exact same slip. Just tell your favorite ones. But like I mentioned, Christian Braun or Norman Powell are my top 2. And for the last one, for this 12-game slate, you can take one of the studs. You can take Anthony Davis points and assists, his points and rebounds. You can take LeBron. You got every player playing, Luka. But for this one, I'll probably be taking Durant. And most likely I'll be targeting his points at 26. Probably going to get bumped to 26.5. I think him and Luka are going to go at it. But I do have already Durant at 26. You can take his PRA at 35.5. But his points, PRA are my top 2. Rebounds is not bad. I prefer his Gabi at 4.5. Fantasy score at 4. He does have block and steal potential. He's gotten over about 6 of the past 8 games. But points will probably be my top 1. And these round up my top 6. Obviously, I have way more props. We do have a 12-game slate. But I will post those on my Discord. Along with the sleeper promo we got going on. There is a protected play if you guys do sleeper. If you guys need a promo code, I do have one on the link in description as well as my Discord. But other than that, mix and match. It's a free roll. Don't stress about it. It's Flex Friday. It's protected. Put in your best picks. I suggest you do either a 5 or 6-man. It's the only time I recommend do a 6-man. I personally like to stay between 2, 3, and 5 mans. But since it's Flex Friday, take advantage of it. Take your shot. Other than that, have a great weekend. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.